So the first part is about the protocols. So the need for protocols when communicating over networks, it is essential that some form of protocol is used by the sender and receiver of the data. So both parties need to agree. Give me 1 minute. So here what will happen for the ළඟ So here, what will happen? Both parties need to agree the protocol being used to ensure successful communication takes place. So in chapter 6, we already discussed uh, parity checking as a way of determining whether data was transmitted correctly. With this method, it was essential to agree it was essential to agree the protocol even or odd parity. Without agreeing this protocol, it would be impossible to use parity checking. So many different protocols exist since there are several activities taking place over the internet. So the next section considers one of the most common set of protocols which are implemented by using a stack structure with several layers. Now what will happen here? The first part is the TCP/IP protocols. So here for this TCP/IP protocols, this is the four-layer structure for TCP/IP protocol. Now, what are these four layers? First one, the last one, I mean the bottom layer, we have the link network. It passe ඊට උඩින් we have the internet network layer, and then ඊට උඩින් we have the transport layer, and top we have the application layer. These are the all four layers. So here, what we call that is DARPA. DARPA means Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency layers. So anyway, you just wanted to know about these layers. එතකොට TCP/IP protocols now we have all these four layers. Bottom we have the link network. එතනින් උඩ we have the internet layer. එතනිනුත් උඩ we have the transport layer, and එතනින් උඩ we have the application layer. So now what will happen for receivers නම් යට ඉඳන් උඩට තමයි යෝනි. And for the senders නම් උඩ ඉඳන් යටට තමයි යන්නේ. First they are starting with the application layer. ඊට පස්සේ send කරද්දි message එක send කරද්දි starting with the application layer. ඊට පස්සේ transport layer, internet layer and the link network. හැබැයි මෙතන receive වෙද්දි ඒ message එක හරි පණිවිඩය හරි අපිට හම්බ වෙද්දි it will be from link network, and then internet layers, and then transport layers, and at last we have the application layer. So using layers breaks the process down into manageable self-contained modulars. This process is known as decomposition. So making it easier to develop and easier to make software and hardware compatible as well. So when sending data across the internet network, the layers are used in the order layer 4 to layer 1. When receiving data across the internet network, අපිට data හම්බ වෙනකොට, the layers are used in order layer 1 to layer 4. Each of the layers is implemented using software. Now, the first one is the application layer. පළවෙනි එක තමයි application layer එක. So the application layer contains all the programs that exchange data, such as web browsers or server softwares. It sends files to the transport layer. හරිනේ ඊළඟට තියෙන layer එක transport layer එක. එතකොට එයාට තමයි data ඔක්කොම send කරන්නේ. So the layer allows the application to access the services used in other layers and also defines the protocols that any app uses to allow the exchange of data. So there are several protocols associated with the application layer. So අපිට තියෙනවා HTTP protocol එක, SMTP protocol එක, and POP3 over 4 protocol එක, DMAP protocol එක, DNS protocol එක. Likewise, there are so many protocols. So for the first one, that is HTTP. So for the first one, that is HTTP hypertext transfer protocol. So this is a protocol responsible for correct transfer of files that make up web pages on the World Wide Web. So SMTP means the simple mail transfer protocol. එකෙන් කියන්නේ this handles the sending of emails. And for the POP 3 over 4, what we call post office protocol, this handles the receiving of emails. And IMAP1, that is Internet Message Access Protocol. So this handles the receiving of emails. And DNS, we have the domain name service, what we call the protocol used to find the IP address, for example, when sending emails. Again, we have another three, FTP file transfer protocol, RIP, that is routing information protocol, and at last we have the SNMP, that's what we call the simple network management protocol. So HTTP hypertext transfer protocol, SMTP simple mail transfer protocol, and POP post office protocol, IMAP internet message access protocol, and DNS domain name service protocol, and FTP file transfer protocol, RIP routing information protocol. And then we have the SNMP, what we call the simple network management protocol. These are the all protocols which we apply in our application layer. So it is worth revisiting the term packet and router. So messages are split up into small groups of bits called packets. For example, a web page would be split up into a number of packets before sending over the network, and a router is used to transmit packets of data. These routers contain connections to many other routers as well. When packets arrive at a router, it decides where next to send them. So now, important terminologies. These packets are known as frames at the data link layer, datagrams at the internet layer, and segments. So at the transport layer, different names are used as each layer adds its own header to the packet. So do not confuse frames in this context with frames when discussing paging memory management in chapter 16. Okay, first read this part. I'll give you a small note.
Sure it is. Teacher, would you move it downwards?
Okay.
Did you finish reading?
Okay, so I have sent you the note of this part, a summary note. You can refer to
True,
that
teacher.
one. And then now the next one is we will be discussing each and every protocols. No? So the first one is the hypertext transfer protocol, HTTP. So this HTTP is probably the most important application layer. Essentially, this protocol underpins the World Wide Web. It is used when, for example, fetching an HTML document from a web server. So it shows within this figure, completely figure 14.2. එතකොට we have these layers. කියන්නේ මේක තමයි අපිට තියෙන web page එක layout of the pages and the page next images, so video links, advertising links, all these ones include on this web page. Okay, so then what will happen, it will connect to web servers through internet. එතකොට වෙබ් සර්වර් එකත් එක්කත් කනෙක්ට් වෙනවා, ඒ වගේම වීඩියෝ සර්වර් එකත් එක්කත් කනෙක්ට් වෙනවා, and also it will connect with the advert servers as well. මොකද එක වෙබ් page එකක් ගත්තාම HTML වෙබ් page එකක් ගත්තාම it's contained everything. එකක් කියලා නැහැ. page එකේ text තියෙනවා, page එකේ images තියෙනවා, maybe page එකේ videos play වෙනවා වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්, and some advert links also. එතකොට මේ එක එකකට we have separate servers no. එහෙනම් so for these ones they will connect with these servers, relevant servers, via the internet, through the internet. So this one is the fetching an HTML document from a web server. How we normally fetch the HTML document, anyway, the web page from a web server. So this makes use of hyperlinks rules for the transferring of data over the internet. HTTP is a client server protocol. එකත් මතක තියාගන්න ඕනේ. This HTTP is a client server protocol. Request messages are sent out to the web servers, which then respond. This HTTP protocols define the format of the messages sent and received as well. So the web browser, which is part of the application layer, අපි මේක application layer එකේ part එකක් කියලා තමයි consider කරන්නේ, initiates the web page request and also converts HTML into a format which can be displayed on the user's screen or can be played through their media player as well. So media player as well. The following summaries summarize what happens when a user requests a web page from a website. මොකද වෙන්නේ? First step එකේදී the user keys the URL into their browser. browser එකේ යාට use කරන්න තියෙන ඒ වගේ key ඒවා type කරනවා, and then ඊට පස්සේ if he or she wants to browse it, එතකොට එයා browse කරන්න search කරනවා. If it's HTTPS කියලා කියන්නේ the secured one, වඩා ආරක්ෂිත එක. So HTTPS transmits the request from application layer to the transport layer. A transport layer එකේදී TCP වෙනවා, and then the transport layer එකන්නේ TCP creates data packets and sends them via port 80 to the destination port. අන්තිමට අපිට ඇත්තටම යන්න ඕන තැනට වෙනකන් එයා තමයි කනෙක්ට් කරන්නේ TCP එක. Then the DNS server එක store කරගන්නවා database of URLs and matching IP addresses. මේකට match වෙන ඒ request එකට අදාළව retrieve කරන්න ඕනේ IP addresses ඔක්කොම එයා match කරගෙන එයා store කරගන්නවා, and then the DNS server uses the domain name typed into the browser to look up the IP address of the appropriate website. And then the server TCP sends back an acknowledgement to see the section on host to host communication on page 333. Once communication has been established, මේ සම්පූර්ණ සම්බන්ධතාවය හදාගත්තායින් පස්සේ, then the web server sends the web page back in HTML format to the browser. So the browser interprets the page and displays it or sends the data in the correct format to the media player as well. That's what happening under this hypertext transfer protocol, HTTP1. So then the next one is the file transfer protocol. No? So for the file transfer protocol is network protocol used when transferring files. File transfer protocol nang yeah, I think කොහොමත් files තමයි transfer කරන්නේ from one computer or device to another computer or device via the the internet or the other networks. So it is similar to HTTP. ඇත්තටම hypertext transfer protocol එකට සමානයි. It's similar and the SMTP. But for the file transfer protocols, only task is the application protocol. File transfer protocol again FTP's only task is the application protocol for the transfer of files over network. මේ file transfer protocol එක කොහොමත් කරන්නේ files transfer කරන එක විතරමයි. So then the web browsers can be used to connect to an FTP address in a way similar to HTTP. For example, if we have a FTP URL, something like this, they can connect to this. So now what will happen? We have anonymous FTPs. This allows the user to access files without the need to identify who they are. It's anonymous no. එතකොට අපි දන්නේ නැහැ කවුද ඇත්තටම ඒක මේවා කරන්නේ කියලා. I mean කවුද use කරන්නේ ෆයිල් එක හරියටම use කරන්නේ කවුද කියලා දන්නේ නැතුව they who they are to the FTP server. For example, if we have like this 331 anonymous access allowed. අපි දන්නේ නැහැ හරියටම කවුද කියලා. Would be a message received to confirm anonymous access. And the FTP commands, for the FTP commands, a user is able to carry out actions that can change files stored on the FTP server. For example, what are the functions? We have delete, close, rename, change directory, CD change directory on the remote machine. So this CD change directory on a local machine. And the other one is the FTP server. For the FTP server, we have this is where the files which can be downloaded as required by a user are stored. අපි download කරනවා store කරලා තියාගන්නවා save කරලා තියාගන්නවා. So a session would be started by typing in the FTP hostname of remote system followed by a user ID and password. So the user would then be able to use this FTP commands to carry out a number of actions as well. So those are the things what we have to know when it comes to file transfer protocol. Okay. First read the hypertext transfer protocol and stuff.
Sure, teacher. Teacher, could you scroll it down?
Okay.
Finish reading, teacher.
Okay. So then the file transfer protocols also we discussed now. Okay, read up to this point.
Sure, teacher.
Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. So then we have the next two parts are simple mail transfer protocol. That's what we call the SMTP. And the other one is POF 3 over 4 and MAP. Okay, I'll explain these two with the small note. Okay, see, understanding about the email protocols and the transmission control protocols. So this is a comparison in between simple mail transfer protocol, that's what we call SMTP, and the other one is receiving emails. Again, receiving emails protocol like what we have POP 3 over 4 and IMAP. So now what they say. For this simple mail transfer protocol, SMTP is a text-based connection-based protocol used for sending emails. It operates as a push protocol. Push protocol like විදිහට තමයි වැඩ කරන්නේ. The meaning, the client opens and maintains an active connection with the server while uploading emails. හරිනේ emails ඔක්කොම upload කරන ගමන් ඒගොල්ලොන්ට මේ message එක හරි message එක නැත්නම් email එක නම් email එක they do have to push it. So the client opens and maintains an active connection with the server while uploading emails. However, since SMTP, that means the simple mail transfer protocol, handles only text-based messages, emails with attachment such as images, videos, and audio files require the multi-purpose internet mail extension. ඒකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ MIME. Multi-purpose Internet Mail Extension Protocol. So this MIME adds a header at the beginning of the transmission. Transmission එක පටන් ගනිද්දිම පොඩි header එකක් add කරනවා, enabling email clients to determine the appropriate media player for these attachments. Now, how the receiving email part works? So this receiving emails, to that, we are using these two protocols, POP 3 over 4 and IMAP1. Two main protocols are used for receiving emails from a server, Post Office Protocol and the Internet Message Access Protocol. So these are known as pull protocols as the client periodically connects to the server to check for and download new emails. Client check කරන්නත් පුළුවන් මොන හරි අලුත් emails තියෙනවද කියලා. එහෙම අලුත් emails තියෙනවා නම් එයාට download කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. Download new emails before closing the connections. සම්පූර්ණයෙන් connection එක නැති කරන්න කලින්. So if I compare these two, in POP does not synchronize between server and client අතර synchronization එකක් නැහැ. And these emails are deleted from the server once downloaded. Download කරාට පස්සේ අපි සම්පූර්ණයෙන්ම delete කරනවා server එකෙන්. But for the IMAP, keeps the server and the client synchronized. හැමතිස්සෙම එයා අප්ඩේට් කරනවා. Client and server network එක ඒක හැමතිස්සෙම up to date and only a copy of the email is downloaded. Original email එක download වෙන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි ඒකේ copy එකක් තමයි download වෙන්නේ with the original remaining on the server until manually deleted. අපි manually ගිහිල්ලා delete කරන තාක්කල් අරක එහෙමම තියනවා. මොකද අපි original email එක delete කරේ නැහැ. We deleted only a copy. Although IMAP is more advanced, both protocols are being replaced by HTTP based email solutions. However, SMTP is still widely used for transferring emails between servers. Okay, so this is kind of an overview of email protocol setup. So we have the sending email part and also we have the receiving email part. For the sending email part, what are the protocols we have to connect? SMTP and MIME. But for the receiving emails, what are the protocols we need to connect? That is POP and IMAP. එතකොට මෙතන තියෙන sending emails වලට these protocols is used from the clients ISP email server, and for the receiving emails, these protocols is used by the recipient's domain email server as well. So a TCP layer and TCP means, so TCP කියලා කියන්නේ anyway මොනවාද transport layer එකක්නේ. So for this transport layer and the TCP layer එක ගත්තාම again TCP means transmission control protocol. එතකොට මෙතනදී කියනවා we have the transport layer and the transmission control protocol එක ගැන. So the transport layer manages network connections and ensures the successful transmission of data packets. So the key protocols in this layer include that is TCP. ඒ කියන්නේ Transmission Control Protocol. So a user diagram protocols UDP and the stream control transmission protocols as well. ඒකට අපි කියනවා SCTP. So these transmission control protocols, these TCPs ensures reliable message delivery by breaking data into packets and sending them securely. So it uses positive acknowledgement with retransmission. Always they give a positive acknowledgement with retransmission, meaning a packet is automatically resent if a positive acknowledgement is not received. So this TCP is connection oriented and uses a three-way handshake process for establishing connection. මොනවද මේ three-way process? ඉස්සලම host X කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා, sensor segment with a synchronization sequence bits to host Y. ඒ කියන්නේ host X ඉඳන් තමයි host Y ට ඒ connection string එක build up කරන්නේ, and for this host Y responds with its own segment containing an acknowledgement and a synchronization sequence bits, and in host X again acknowledged the host Y. Host Y එවන response එක එයා acknowledge කළා, එයා එවන එක acknowledge කළ response කරනවා, and as the fourth stage we have the data transmission between the host X and host Y. ඕක තමයි transmission control protocol ke steps tika, how it works. Okay, now read the note of the book. So you have to read this simple transfer protocol and the POP and IMAP part, and also the translator part as well. Yeah, only these
Okay,
parts.
teacher.
I'll send you that note as well. Simple mail transfer protocol. නේ අද දවසම ගෙදරින් යන්න තමයි වැඩ කරන්නේ.
Teacher, give me a minute, teacher. I will quickly go and come. Teacher, give me a
Okay.
minute. Teacher, are you there?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So,
Okay, teacher. Finish reading.
yeah, you read it.
Teacher, are you there?
Yes, you can hear me, right?
Yeah, teacher.
So, are you done with the? Okay, okay.
Yeah, teacher.
Let me stop. So, okay, we did up to this now. So, okay. Did you read the simple mall part and the POP one? No, right?
No, teacher.
Okay.
I did the simple mail transfer protocol. Then I didn't read the pop
Oh, okay.
PO.
Okay. Read the pop one. I'll send them.
Finish reading, teacher.
Okay. So if I move to the next part, okay, so we did, let me share my screen. Okay. So here we have now we discussed up to this now transmission control protocols, and TCP is often referred to as host to host transmission protocol as it establishes direct connections between communicating devices. So these hosts include any computer or device that can send or receive data, such as client and servers. එතකොට send or receive data කරන්නේ කවුද? Clients and the servers. This information provides a foundational understanding of email protocols and TCP, crucial for networking and the internet communications. So the next layer is the internet or the network layer. Internet or the network layer and network or the data link layer. මේ දෙන්නගේ අතර තමයි ඊළඟ connection එක හැදෙන්නේ. So the internet layer is responsible for identifying the intended network and host. The most commonly used protocol at this layer is IP, that is Internet Protocol. IPv4, IPv6 handle addressing and packetting forwarding. So the network or data link layer එක ගත්තහම these layers ensures efficient data transmission across local network segments. එතකොට what are those ones? First thing is encapsulates IP packets into frames for transmission. IP packets වලට කඩනවා transmission එක කරන්න. Then maps IP addresses to MAC addresses. IP address එක map කරනවා MAC address එකකට. And ensures proper communication protocols are followed, and also it identifies network protocols in the packet header, that is TCP IP. So these IP functions, what we call IP functions කියලා internet protocols ගත්තාම what are those functions? First one is ensures correct packet routing over network, and it manages inter-network communication protocol. අනිත් එක තමයි it adds an IP header containing a sender and recipient IP addresses to packets, and at last we have it passes packets to the data link layer for transmission via frames. Now what is Ethernet protocol? මේ Ethernet protocol එක කියලා කියන්නේ Ethernet connects multiple devices in a LAN. LAN means local area network, and controls frame movement while preventing simulators transmission conflicts. It operates locally, and also it requires IP for external communications. මොනවද මේ internet protocol for external communications? So the structure of this Ethernet frame, we have the preamble එකට 8 bytes. ඒකෙන් කරන්නේ මොකද්ද? It's do the synchronization, and we have the start frame. The allocated memory space would be 1 byte. It identifies the beginning of the frame. ඊළඟට interpacket gap, we have to keep like 12 bytes space for that. ඒක ඇවිල්ලා space between the frames. ඊට පස්සේ destination, it will be 6 bytes, MAC address of the recipient, and source. So we have to allocate like 6 bytes memory for MAC address of the sender, and Ethernet type or the length. Then we have the actual message. Actual message එක තමයි ගොඩක් lengthier. We have to keep more space, 46 to 1500 bytes, the data being transmitted. And at last we have the frame check sequence, that is for it's like 4 bytes. එතකොට it checks the data integrity, normally data integrity. If VLAN is used, the frame size increases up to 9000 bytes. එතකොට 9000 bytes වෙනකම් වැඩි වෙනවා මේ network එක category එක අපි use කරොත්. Now the key Ethernet components. What are those key Ethernet components? First one is destination. The destination will be at last we will receive it into MAC address of the recipient. And when it comes to sources, MAC address of the sender will be the source, and Ethernet type or the Ethernet length determines frame classification. And also at last we have the frame check. That's what we called. It ensures data integrity. And for the that's up to Ethernet protocols. And then we have the Wi-Fi protocols. So for okay, before moving to the Wi-Fi protocols, okay. So we did up to this point now. Okay.
Yeah, teacher.
Uh, you read up to this point, right? Figure
Yeah, teacher.
14.4. Okay. So just start from here and read up until the what we call the Wi-Fi protocol part. So I discussed because if we read this entire part and discuss, it will take some time. Because of that, I summarize and I'll give that note to you. You just read this part.
Did you give me a minute?
Okay.
Okay, teacher.
Okay. So up until this part, TCP part also you did, right?
Yeah, teacher, you TCP part
Okay.
in the you mean this book or
This
no, teacher? We
book.
did no, teacher, no.
Okay. We discuss it from the note, no?
Okay, teacher. Okay, teacher, finish. Right.
Okay. So okay. So you have to read this internet network layer and the these two parts as well. Just let me know if there's anything addition again, any additional thing rather than that note, what we discussed.
Teacher, what did you say?
No, I ask you to read the internet and network, this part,
Ah,
because we
okay,
have
sure.
completed up until Wi-Fi protocols, no? එතනට වෙනකන් ටික I just want you to read it from the book. පොතේ.
Finish this.
Okay. And for the Ethernet protocols as well. Okay. So I'll start doing the wireless Wi-Fi protocols. Okay, so for the wireless Wi-Fi protocol, wireless means anyway Wi-Fi protocol. So for the wireless, that means LANs follow the IEEE 802.11 standard using CSMA or CA. CSMA or CA means the carrier sense multiple access with the collision avoidance to manage transmissions. So the CSMA or CA uses distributed control functions. That's what we called DCF to check for free channels before transmission. So transmissions are before transmission. So transmissions are acknowledged to avoid data collision. If an acknowledgement is not received, retransmission is attempted after a random delay. So this mechanism ensures secure and reliable data transmission over Wi-Fi networks. So for the Bluetooth protocols now, in Bluetooth follows the IEEE 802.15 standards. But earlier for the Wi-Fi now, it was 102.11 standard. Here we have IEEE 102.15 standard for short range wireless communication. And the various additional protocols exist for different applications but are beyond this scope. So for the worldwide interoperability for a microwave access now, that is what we call WiMAX. Here WiMAX operates under the IEEE 102.16 standard, initially designed for wireless metropolitan area network, WMAN. W stands for wireless metropolitan area network, MAN. It has two versions dekak tiyena. The first one is the fixed version, the other one is the mobile version. If it's fixed version now, that is IEEE 802.16, the 2004. ඊට පස්සේ mobile wireless නම් mobile wireless max ඒ කියන්නේ මොනවාද what we call worldwide interoperability for microwave access. Okay, complete name. So for the mobile part, that's also there we have the 2005 version. May versions deka tamai tiyenne under WiMAX. So then we have to know about the peer-to-peer file sharing and the BitTorrent protocol. In peer-to-peer file sharing, what will happen? For BitTorrent follows a peer-to-peer file sharing model enabling fast distribution of files among multiple users without relying on a central server. So for the BitTorrent workflow, how the BitTorrent works, first part is the file creation. The uploader, that means anyway the peer, creates a torrent file. Up your film se download karane. So peer creates a torrent file containing metadata about the shared file. Metadata තියෙන file එකක් හදා ගන්නවා. අර track versions එහෙම films වල actual film එක නැති වුණාම අපි torrent files download කරලා තමයි film එක බලන්නේ. And for the tracker connection, these peers download the torrent file and connect to a tracker that stores details about the connected peers. And this file segmentation, the file is broken into smaller segments or pieces, and downloading and sharing, peers download pieces from multiple sources, distributing them in the process. For the seeding part, once a peer has the complete file, peer ගාව complete file එක තියෙද්දී, they become a seed to help other peers complete their download. And for leeching, a peer that downloads more than they upload negatively impact the network as well. Then what are the important terms? We have sworn. Sworn කියලා කියන්නේ group of peers sharing files. And seed, a peer that has the complete file and is uploading it. And for the tracker, a central server that helps peers find each other. And leash, a peer that downloads more than they upload. And Looker, a peer that downloads files but does not contribute new content as well. How these network diagrams example works here? book එකේ තියෙනවා ඒ diagram එක. So if I show you the book, okay, so these are these one, peer-to-peer file sharing one. Okay, this is the content. So according to this entire diagram, what it says, network diagram example එකේ අර වටේ ඉන්නේ peersලා a peer uploads a file. සාමාන්‍ය peer කෙනෙක් ගත්තාම peer uploads a file and multiple peers acts as seeds. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට එක්කෙනෙක් නෙමෙයි, multiple peers acts as seeds and new peers join to download the file. අලුත් peersලා join වෙනවා to download the file and some peers behave as leashes, reducing network efficiency as well. At the time of writing, BitTorrent accounted for about 12% of global video file share. මං කිව්වේ අපි තනිකර ෆිල්ම්ස් එහෙම ඩවුන්ලෝඩ් කරන්න තමයි මේ torrent files තනිකර use කරන්නේ of global video file sharing activity, whereas YouTube accounted for around 50%. So the conclusion will be this document outlines critical networking concepts including internet and data link layers, Ethernet, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, WiMAX and BitTorrent protocols, and understand these protocols will help in efficient data communication and network management as well. Okay, so that's about the first part. Let me share the book. So on this book now, okay, අපි මෙතනට වෙනකම් first part එක ඉවර කරා. Then we have the circuit switching and packet switching one. So the circuit switching and the packet switching one, අපි හවසට කරමු. Are you available from 5 to 7?
5 to 7 today?
Yeah. Today, yes.
Um,
Or else tomorrow morning also, tomorrow morning have a class. No, tomorrow morning also fine. Let me know if you are available. So I have another 2 topics to complete this 14 unit. So I can complete this entire unit within today or tomorrow. එතකොට now I'm sending the entire summary note. Hurry, entire
Okay.
summary note for this first part. So for this first part, if I show you, so this is the entire summary note. Here from the beginning, again, we have a small, see, from the beginning, the need for the protocols and how the TCP IP protocols work, the entire note is there. So you can go through this as well. And also, I'm sending you a question set. A question set එකත් කරන්න, those questions are from this part only. ඒකත් දැන් මම එවනවා. So ඒකත් කරන්න and I'll send you the answers for those ones as well. First you do it and then you can check with the answers. Hari.
Sure, teacher.
The first part is done. Let me send you these ones. So let me know when you are available so that we can do another the part 2, the circuit part as well next time.
Sure, teacher. I will send you
Okay.
in
Okay.
teacher.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
See you then. I'll
God
send
bless you. Thank you, teacher.
you. Okay, bye.